On February 19th, NASA's satellite provided a visual image of Tropical Cyclone Oma that revealed an eye surrounded by powerful thunderstorms as the cyclone continues its path towards Australia. All cyclone warnings for Vanuatu were canceled as Cyclone Oma finally moved away from the country after 5 days. Reports of widespread damage were starting to emerge from Vanuatu's northern provinces and from the south of Solomon Islands. The heavy rain, strong winds, and storm surges uprooted trees, destroyed homes and food crops in Torba and Sanma province. Approximately 76 households on the west coast of Santo have lost their food gardens to flooding and are likely to face food shortages. The storm, while only a Category 2, pulled 3 loops off the coast of the island of Santo late last week and then stalled near it for much of the weekend before finally moving away. Tropical Cyclone Oma is tracking towards Australia after grazing New Caledonia. Oma is moving south, and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecast calls for the storm to strengthen to 157 kilometers per hour. The storm will then become extratropical as it turns southeast. According to the Bureau, Oma appears most likely to approach southeast Queensland coast, and a crossing is possible at this weekend or next week. Differences between models make it difficult to tell how bad the impact will be and where. Meteorologists are looking at a landfall between Brisbane and Bundaberg, with the Sunshine Coast one area that could be hit hard. They still have hazardous beach conditions, and heavy rainfall totals from Saturday onwards could be in excess of 300 millimeters. Here are the latest reports from the Bureau and Gold Coast Mayor Tom Tate.
Hello from the Bureau with an update on Tropical Cyclone Oma. Earlier this week, it looked as though Oma would stay well to Australia's east, but the most likely scenario now is for Oma to approach the southern Queensland coast over the weekend and possibly even make landfall. In terms of exactly how Oma will track, well, the devil will be in the detail, and much of that detail is still becoming clearer over the coming days. Right now, Tropical Cyclone Oma is a Category 2 system with wind gusts to around 155 kilometres per hour near the centre. Oma lies just to the southwest of New Caledonia and for now is still in the area of responsibility of Fiji, who monitor tropical cyclones in the southwest Pacific Ocean. One possibility we talked about earlier this week was the potential for Cyclone Oma to move west into the Coral Sea on Wednesday, today, rather than stay well to the east. Well, that is the scenario we're looking at now. Currently around 1,010 kilometres to the northeast of Brisbane, Oma will continue tracking slowly towards the south-southwest over the next few days as a Category 2 system. Cyclones are always a challenge to forecast and often have a life of their own, particularly in the Coral Sea. That's why we include this grey shaded area around the official forecast track, which shows the range of possibilities still on the cards for how Cyclone Oma may move. Much of how Oma tracks as we head into the weekend will actually depend on the movement of this high pressure system to the south, centred near Tasmania. As the ridge of high pressure builds and jumps across into the Tasman Sea, we expect it to push Oma back towards the west-northwest towards the Queensland coast. It is very uncommon for tropical cyclones to move so far south and potentially impact along the southeast Queensland coast, but it's not unprecedented. In our history, we've even seen rare cyclones in New South Wales. Again, there's a lot of details still to become clear about exactly how Oma will eventually track and develop, but it is likely that we'll need to issue a cyclone watch for parts of the southern Queensland coast as Cyclone Oma moves closer to account for the risk of coastal gales and heavy rainfall. That potential for heavy rainfall is greatest along the coast and adjacent inland south of about Bundaberg as Cyclone Oma approaches. Rain would most likely develop from late Saturday, and the risk would be enhanced if Oma eventually makes landfall.
As for Tropical Cyclone Oma, well, it's now a severe Category 3 system sitting about 1,000 kilometres northeast of Brisbane at the moment. It is looking like tracking slowly towards the Queensland coast over the next couple of days. Still unclear as to exactly what path this cyclone will take, but 2 computer models used by the Weather Bureau actually have it coming across land between somewhere like Fraser Island or Bundaberg. If that happens, of course, it would bring some very damaging wind gusts and also a lot of heavy rain to that area. As I said, that a fair degree of uncertainty about the exact path this cyclone will take. But one thing it does seem certain, Queensland is in for yet another significant weather event.
It's currently sitting just over 1,500 kilometres northeast of Brisbane and the Gold Coast.
At the moment it's moving towards us, and if it's unchanged it'll be bullseye. So I'll be watching it on a daily basis, and as it gets close to Thursday, depending on where we're at with that, I'll make a decision when disaster management unit will be standing up.
At HVN, we will continue to follow this cyclone closely. Please click on subscribe and the bell for notifications of new video updates.